Hey man, what's up? Good morning. This is it's just going to be one of those things. So just hanging out and trying to capture this energy, capture this process. It's morning, and I've just noticed that I'm having a hard time coming up with what to do. I really like. Wow, this is a beautiful cold city. So I'm sitting in Europe in winter. I think I told myself that I'm gonna be waking up and just hanging out and also getting work done. And so like before now, I had so many ideas of what I'm coming to do on the computer, but uh, here we find ourselves stuck. One of the things I was doing yesterday, and I figured when I wake up in the morning, I could actually just do it. Was that yesterday I was following a tutorial on Bootstrap, and I was trying to learn some Bootstrap CSS. Um, and I was looking at it, so I told myself, hey, probably. And I was at the shop and I was looking, and I thought, oh, okay, man. Maybe when I get back to the house, I might really look at this. I also got the tutorial of YouTube um, that I was following, and so I figured I really don't know. So one of the things I'm doing is also fighting mosquitoes. I had also wanted to come in and maybe one of the things I also want to do is to make uh to work on my action method journal because it's morning and I'm trying to plan for the day, and I've just been feeling the pressure of tasks looking at me and mounting up. So and this one of those things. I found Bootstrap to be a little bit easy when I was looking at it. And one of the things I started telling myself is that I just need to like get this done with. Like I need to just like tell myself, okay, man, just excuse me, just do this. Just do this. And I already had a theme that I wanted to build out on Figma. Why do I feel just like a toughness to jumping into this? Hmm? It's a real question right there. That is a real question right there. It seems to me that Bootstrap uses a lot of whites. Of course, maybe not. This is very clean. I think at some point you just want something nice and clean. That's what I caught myself thinking yesterday. So yeah, let's launch Figma, man. It sucks when you have like nowhere to go. But recording the screen is an amazing process for me because now what's happening when I'm recording my screen is like I need to make use of this valuable resource called computing. I know that my mind goes everywhere, um, but maybe when I'm recording, I might get things done instead of just randomly browse the internet, scroll Twitter. Man, like the death scroll has been killing me, bruh. I got a second cup of coffee. I just paid for a new domain, so I'll be excited to really jump into that. I thought since I was already working on learning Bootstrap, I might get this UI. So I got this UI kit of Figma community file, and here's the hard work this man did. So what I started understanding about, by the way, I found when I'm recording my screen in the morning, my voice is surely very low. I think because people are still sleeping in the house and I don't want to be shouting and everything. But I found I'm very chill. I was trying to watch one of my videos on YouTube. And it just got so boring because I was so chill and boring, man. And maybe it is what it is, yeah. So these are alerts. These are badges. You could have a bunch of badges here, and then you could leave a bunch of breadcrumbs here, and then here's also how buttons would look like, and then here's how some forms might look like, and input group. Here's how navigation might look like. Here's how the navbar may look like. I started feeling like, yeesh, I really don't like it. Why? Why don't I like it? Pagination, progress, and I guess that's it. And then here's something else, some other work he did. So this is a 12 column grid. This is the content. I think it just repeated. This is your typography here. So display 2, display 3, display 4, then H1 to H6, and then utilities are. So I found that this actually are like legit. So that's the thing that I found out. So when I was doing this, I didn't really know, but I found out that these are legit components, or I guess utilities in Bootstrap. So when you go like BG primary, this is the color you get. Just like primarily, this is what comes. Yeah. So then this BG light and no shadow, small shadow, regular shadow, large shadow. Text color, and I guess you have to, like, you're going to do all this inside your HTML. So I don't know like how does that, I don't know. Then you have a bunch of icons. They have some lit icons. Just an icon living. When I was working on this design 2 weeks ago, and then I came back and I started trying to rework it. One of the things that I remember really capturing my head was using white. So I killed a lot of these grays and I built in a lot of these whites, right? And I just felt like it's so important for me to go for interesting. Oh, my computer is slow for whatever reason. And I felt like it was just so important for me to kind of go for um for less harsh like harsh colors and like to really tone down the design. I'm not sure. I think this is a very mature thing that I started learning about UI. That what you want to do is you want to really um, tone back your UI, like especially for this one. I felt like that was so necessary. Let me come in here. Let me change the color to now let me go with super dark this, and then one of my questions is, would it now be possible for us to execute this design? So my browns, I'm losing a lot of my browns. I had really wanted a very popping UI, but the more I've been working on the popping UI, I felt like it's just not professional. It feels very amateurish. And the more I'm taking away the colors, the more I'm taking away the harsh contrast, the more I feel like it's becoming more professional. And so that's just like a very strange thing for me. It's really strange, man. It's really strange um, uh, to do that. Let me try something else. I wish I could have just um, like copied this. Um, no, actually, there's another a green, but I forget which one it was. Not that one. I think the middle one. No, not that one. So maybe the top one. Not that one. Which one might that be? Which- So now I'm confused a little bit because which one was it? It does look a lot like this though. Like two. No, it can't be two. Also, it can't be one. What I think also with the rules of contrast, it might really be one though. Actually, it's three. So I think why it looks different is the rule of contrast. So it might be the same color, but since um, I'm using a whole different text thing, it feels massively. You'll see when I change the contrast back to dark, you're going to feel the difference starting to come through. Let's go with the fill. Let's go with the super dark green. This has just been, and now as you can see, in a strange way, it has started almost feeling this way. So I don't know why. What did I do? Let me just. So let me only affect the I don't even know how to approach it. Uh, yeah, I think that way. It needs a lot of man. I know whatever, bro. I feel like I'm doing this work just to avoid the hard work. Maybe that's life. hmm I was um I was watching how I work. I was watching back how I work, and I'm not like a very super smart worker. I can now imagine all these things, all these games that I have to make myself play, just like for me to be productive. I think it's crazy. I think there are people out there who just get into work and work. So there's this also that I might need to change. So now I should have just copied the whole thing so that you could see the evolution. But that's my problem now. I think that's a big problem for me. I should have really duplicated the whole thing so that we can see the evolution. And we can even talk about how we see the evolution happening, the different choices I've been making. So anyways, I'm wondering if I could. So these are cards, right? These are cards. Just that inside this card. So this is like a main div, and then inside this div there's this, and then there's this ones. And I wonder, mm, if this is just thought really. I feel like um this these cards need to show up under this the word programs. Like this is cool. How I'm envisioning it is cool, but it's not practical. Ah, so as you can see, maybe the problem. So maybe, yeah. So that almost looks like something I would work in, just like in thinking about the UI. uh, in a simple way. The landing page. So I wanted to jump into Bootstrap and to see if I could make this with Bootstrap. I could actually just type this CSS up myself. Look at how much I'm struggling with doing something as simple as moving. So maybe these are all just like thoughts and ideas and things that you could learn about X. Just doesn't look good. The contrast is off, very off. Contrast is off, baby. So contrast, I'm finding contrast is like a very important thing, and it's important to learn about contrast, the importance of contrast, and how like contrast it makes your design in the end. So this is pretty much the design. I've really taken away a lot, and like I feel like I could have done much more. But I've taken away a lot of those browns and those earth tones. I've used a lot of a lot of interesting greens. Excuse me. That I did not see myself using. Just trying to be like mindful. 225 times 149. Okay, so man, I like I've been doing like the most, like the most. I feel like I'm doing like the most useless things in my view. Like just tweaking pixels, man. Tweaking pixels, tweaking designs. Instead of making it functional. Water and coffee. I'm gonna go to the restroom later on. It's going to be one of those things. So as I can as I look at the evolution like of our page, and I'm just starting to really like appreciate the importance of allowing either a design to evolve or allowing yourself to have fresh eyes that can offer critique to help your design grow to take it to the next level. I think it's very important. Well, I'm here looking at this work now. I sense that I've really worked hard to like make it grow, to change how it looks like. And to even like pursue consistency and all that. For me, it's looking better now. It's a little bit good. Now it's the pressure of activating Bootstrap. I just feel so defeated already, man. Ah. I just feel so defeated already. It's not cool at all. Bum, 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 bum. Let me make it like a huge newbie. I know it's a so this is it. Welcome. Here will be sign up. I wonder if there's it's a good standard practice of like how big this should be. Yeah, but it looks okay. Whew. I just yawned and I'm recording. I forgot. Yeah, I could have a blog also, like blog content, free blog content on this web page. It looks so good. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. There's a there's a big problem here in aligning this list li inside this div. This will be a li, and then all of them will be links. Just that the way this list looks like an ordered list. So no. Bootstrap, baby. You are victorious. You are never defeated. Let's look at this. Man, we get why people buy templates. It's not that you can't do these things. It's not that you can't create your own site. It's just that it's such a hassle and an effort. The word is effort. Look, a nice landing page in white. So especially now, like I'm feeling like I haven't given my thing enough room to breathe. Like I should really like give it more room, and I think these are things that I have no context for right now. Really, I have no context for. Like how much room should I really give? Like a place like this. How much room should I give it? I have considered maybe jumping into one of my Pinterest. One of these designs, just any really. But let me just go with this one. In fact, Framer is still on my. So I'm curious, like how much space did they decide to give this areas, because I have learned that design has to breathe. All right, when design doesn't breathe, I guess a problem. So maybe I should come back and like take this like entire design, just call it landing page 2, and then duplicate it. And then so it's going to be called landing page 3. And then what I'm gonna come and start doing is to just like give this kind of like spaces to breathe. I should just like give it more room to breathe. I don't know. I'll make it tighter. I'll give it more room to breathe. I can. I feel like I'm worrying about the wrong type of things. It just basically that's how my brain works. So this was cool to get started with. Maybe I can get away with making it even bigger. So then that what means is I'm going to have to select everything. Or maybe I could start with the low part. And let me see if I could expand this. Now that is expanded, oh, everything. So I just want to like try and center it. So I select to give it room to breathe, right? And I'm going to select like both of them, what do you call it, CTA 3 and footer 2, right? And I'm just going to like move them down like almost like significantly. Then I'm going to come into this place and just like jump in here and like see what I can be able to do. And let's just see if I can give it even more room to breathe. So I'm not sure how different it's starting to look like. So what was it? Just called testimonial 5. So let me have this selected. I'm just going to take it down, maybe not so significantly, and then I'm going to have my other CTA here. And then make sure everything in there is selected, and I'm just going to like center it now somewhere here, just so that it like have to breathe a little bit or whatever. I don't think this needs to breathe so much, but maybe it does. Like, I just don't feel like, I don't feel so. So now what's starting to happen is that I've opened a lot of now my design. In an interesting and even simple way, I have opened it up. So now things don't feel very, it's like whatever I've been looking at on Notion, things feel very fluid. There's a lot of negative space. And I wonder when they're coding it, how do they ensure this negative space holds? How do you create like margins and borders such that this negative space holds? Whether this is a great idea, this carousel is a great idea for gallery, and maybe also some of the wordings here. Instead of saying gallery, I could use like a whole sentence. Instead of saying gallery, I could say like something, I don't know, man. So yeah, that's a great tip in copywriting. Instead of saying programs, I could again also have a whole sentence in there. Yep. Okay. So yeah, I'm getting there. So there was the city one. All right. So there was city 4. So footer gallery 3. Okay. So footer city 3, city 4. Testimonial is you get to go down, and then I'm just going to like allow this to breathe like significantly, man. And okay, so let me just zoom in so that I could think about those small ideas that I just had. So and just see how does this hold. So let me check this. Just when it's on, and let me like really open it up, or maybe I could even center it, like center it. Right, so one of the ideas, instead of saying gallery, I could say a day in the life of Ngoma Bible School in pictures. So let me just open it a little bit. Maybe have a H1, who knows, man. Let me get this, take a look. It could still work. I guess it could still work. One of my problems is now like I'm not following. Like I feel like I broke a lot of the rules. But also it feels open. It feels open. These are tools and ideas that I don't know if I would have had if I never had the time to just come back and start asking myself, why does my design feel clean? Why does it feel not clean? So right. So now I need to go to programs now. So there's CTF4, there's footer, CTF3, testimonial, CTF2, and gallery. What I want to do is I want to bring them a little bit down, and so I want to go to programs, and this is like the craziest thing because how am I going to approach it? Just it's a good place to start. Just allow it to breathe on that, like on that div. And I think maybe this is something to learn when it comes to maybe like when it comes to design and code. Like when I want something to like really just like breathe on the page. Maybe that's something to ask. Those are fundamental questions to be asking, and also maybe something to consider next time I'm doing this. Also, I guess mm. So I mean, I think one of the things that is starting out to be very important so as you can see, I feel like I need even like more space now. How about that? Looks decent enough for me, if you ask me. So now, like when you allow it to breathe, even your cards could breathe. Your cards could be bigger, they could be prettier. I just like repeated the same sentence. I would also need this to, so it's program 5. Program 5, CTF 4, footer 2. I need them down. And then I need this one down to, I need it to breathe. So I would need this to need it to breathe. Maybe this is too much. Maybe I need my cards to be bigger. Who knows, man? Um, but I'm trying to build towards this. This is where I really want it to breathe, and I'm just getting tired. I feel like like I made a mistake here. Probably should have let it just stay small. But there's really no problem, man. I think that's the reason for design is to explore, and then for developers to make it happen. In my view, um, first of all, what is CTFO? Like in my view, man, like designers don't get to in my view, developers don't get to really like mess with the pixels. I was talking to my developer on Sunday, and he was telling me just how hard it is to execute on the look and feel. That like this grind is so tough because now when you're talking to a client and you make a website for them and it's functional, they tell you it doesn't look like the way I wanted it to look like. They want look and feel, but then he's like, but it works. And they're like, no, but like there's a way I want it to look like. And I just started thinking how it's interesting. um, the reality of design is such an interesting thing that we just like many people don't really be thinking about. And it seems to me that if you're a designer and you learn um, you're a designer and you learn how you're like a developer and you learn how to code, my guy, he's gonna be unstoppable. It's benefit 6. How could this be benefit 6? So I want to everything else except alright, except this and this. Everything else go down. No, even those two have to go down. They just have to go down maybe slightly differently. And also they have to move. And maybe instead of let me just convert this into that whole sentence. So, man, are just some things I don't know. That I'll be thinking about from time to time. Alright. Do you know, this design feels so much better now that like I've allowed it to breathe. So one of my real challenges lately. Yeah, that looks nice. So and I think it's okay, like it's okay for you to use someone else's theme, like to start imagining how like a landing page should look like, because now I think I copied every single part how it should really look like. But now when I'm coming into it, I'm saying, okay, fine, this design needs to breathe a little bit. Yeah, I just started opening up. Like here, it was very tight and had all the functional components that I had needed. And then here, I made it breathe a little bit, and then here I made it even breathe even much more. And I know that I can always like push this UI to look better, to look more modern. The only question is, could I execute it with Bootstrap? Do I want to execute it with Bootstrap? Yeah. Such are the questions. When you look at Framer, for example, their homepage is definitely bigger than than mine. So you could exactly tell they put some consideration in like all these like different types of spacing. Things that I also need to like pay some consideration to. So now I'm going to select this and this and this and this and this. I'm going to leave that that other one as it is, and this and this and this and this and our footer, and we're going to take it down. Okay, and then here's the moment of truth. We're going to let's see how that works when you take it a little bit down. Just let this design breathe a little bit. There's no pressure. Oh, mosquito, got you. Oh, and that looks nicer, man. That looks really good. This changes everything for me, especially just because another one. It changes everything for me, especially just because it unshackles me from the thinking, that my UI needs to look and feel a certain way. And I feel so honored to be having these thoughts. How does this thing zoom out? So here we go. Boom. Boom. Is it 1, 2, 3? Boom. Boom. What is here? Seems to be a gap here. Anyway, I created that gap. Since there's a gap, let's expand this. Good. Can you just see how like significantly different the same homepage grows when you're trying to make it breathe? I think these are very cool conversations you start having when you're pixel pushing. It's like 6 anemones. Pixel Pusher Original. We're supposed to be learning Bootstrap. This is like the case of you going to do everything instead of just making the work. So here it is. A cool Bootstrap page. It's very like clean and modern and whatnot. And I just feel like there's almost open my email and I'm recording my screen. I just feel like there's a certain pressure in life to, I don't even know what I was going to say. Let me pause for a moment. Shoo.